We're 16 years removed from Iowa legalizing same-sex marriage. This morning, a state senator from eastern Iowa is proposing legislation that would reverse what had been a trailblazing decision for Iowa in 2009. Our State House reporter Skylar Talal is at the Capitol with reaction to the resolution submitted on Wednesday.
GOP Senator Sandy Salmon is behind the resolution, asking the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn the case that legalized same-sex marriage and to hand the power back to the states. The resolution calls upon the Supreme Court to reverse the decision and, quote, restore the natural definition of marriage, a union of one man and one woman.
I think this resolution tells you a lot about the priorities that Iowa Republican politicians have at the moment, rather than being focused on actually solving the problems that Iowa families are begging the legislature to address. They're focused on rehashing culture war issues from a decade ago.
For One Iowa, an organization that was first launched in the fight for marriage equality, Executive Director Max Mowitz says reversing those rights after 16 years would have devastating impacts on LGBTQ plus Iowans.
You see a piece of legislation introduced that would strip you of a lot of the access that you have, that would put your marriage in jeopardy, that would impact your kids. And I really want folks to feel what that would feel like in their bodies, because it's not just marriage equality, it's the lives of so many LGBTQ families.
As a college student in 2011, Senator Zach Walz famously defended his same-sex parents on the House floor, saying his family isn't much different than anyone else's. Now he says he's ready to pick up the fight again, on top of the pressing issues Iowans are already facing.
Iowans are worried about trying to figure out how they're going to make rent, how they're going to pay their bills, how they're going to afford groceries. And so I'm going to fight against this resolution the same way that I've stood up to big corporations and political insiders, because that's what we do, right? We take care of each other. We don't tear each other down.
Senator Salmon and Senate Republicans didn't respond to my request for comment, so it's unclear how likely this is to advance this session, with lawmakers already working to wrap up in Des Moines. But some fear this isn't the end of the conversation.
We don't think that this is well supported in the current moment. We do not think that it's off the table in Iowa. In fact, nothing about this being introduced is surprising.
At the Iowa Capitol, Skylar Talal reporting.